to do the Super Bowl?
What the deal, everybody? My name Kendrick Lamar, and I'll be performing at Super Bowl 59.
Drake was supposed to be one of the artists that was with Tidal. Drake says no, goes get $40 million from Apple. Jay-Z hates that nigga now. You feel what I'm saying?
Y'all been through 11 Super Bowls in New Orleans, man. Y'all have yet to put a hip-hop artist from New Orleans on the damn Super Bowl.
There's no reason why Lil Wayne should not be performing the Super Bowl. There's one person who's stopping this. I know, it's not really a secret. Lil Wayne had a problem with somebody before who's kind of part of the organization running it. This is payback. Who's that? Who's Lil Wayne artist? Drake.
Yeah,
this
hating at this age is crazy.
This was a two birds, one stone situation for Jay-Z.
And I will not lie to you, have not got a call.
Hey, Jay, I'm kind of folk, Jay.
But we all praying, we praying, we keeping our fingers crossed.
The hip-hop world is buzzing as all eyes are on Lil Wayne, who is at the center of a shocking drama involving Jay-Z. If you thought their longtime rivalry was over, think again. Wayne has turned up the heat, throwing shade and revealing secrets that could change how people view the Roc Nation mogul. Get ready, because this story is about to get wild.
I know one year you said the best rapper alive since the best rapper retired. Was that your way of paying homage to Jay? Or did you always feel like you was the best rapper even before he retired?
No, that was me paying homage. All my friends, anyone, Baby, Slim, everybody could tell you, to Lil Wayne, Jay. That's all that, Stun ain't want to hear that shit. He ain't disliking me. It was just that I'm too much on. I'm too, just too much. Goddamn. Santa Claus ain't real. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Oh, that's right. Well, Christmas today. You know what I mean? But shit, that was, to me, he was the way he put words together and by being.
Lil Wayne and Jay-Z have always had a quiet tension between them, with their rivalry going back years. For a long time, it stayed out of the spotlight, but everything changed when Wayne boldly declared himself the best rapper alive, a title Jay-Z had always claimed for himself. Wayne's audacity to step into Jay-Z's self-proclaimed throne was enough to spark a fiery feud between the two.
I did want to ask you this. The accuser originally filed this lawsuit back in October, only naming Sean Diddy Combs, now amending that lawsuit to include the name of Jay-Z. Initial reactions to this, does that shock you? And from your legal perspective, why might this change have occurred?
Well, these are very serious allegations, but Jay-Z has vehemently denied them. We have been seeing this trend since the criminal case was brought. There has been this influx of allegations from civil attorneys bringing civil lawsuits, looking for a really gigantic amount of money from both Diddy as well as those that they say were involved. One of the trends that I think is very concerning is this idea that they name an unnamed individual and then they send essentially a demand to their representatives and to them individually for some sort of settlement prior to them revealing the name. Can they resolve that? And it appears here with Jay-Z that this type of demand went to Jay-Z. He said he's not paying a penny. In fact, he said not a red cent, suggesting he sees this as blood money, and that he was not going to do this, and that he's the victim of an extortion scheme. That could be the case, and that could be something that as time goes by, we see more information about whether these allegations really were founded in sufficient truth to bring them forward in the first place.
So what are the next steps now that Jay-Z's name is connected with the lawsuit against Diddy? What happens legally?
Well, he'll have to defend himself. And so the first thing you have when you have a complaint against you is you have the answer to that complaint. There may even be legal avenues that they can take to try to quash the complaint or complain about something having not been done correctly, but he'll have to answer to it, deny those allegations to the extent that he's able to do so, just as he's been doing in the media. So this will be something that goes on for an extended period of time, but this will come down to the facts and potentially testimony about what did or didn't happen.
And Andrew, for our viewers, I wanted to share this. This is the statement that Jay-Z released. Quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice.
AZ never lets a slight go unanswered, and he fired back with some harsh lines in his track Trouble. With lines like, "Unlike you little ninjas, I'm a grown man," he clearly tried to put Wayne down and remind him who the real king of rap was. But Wayne, always the rebellious one, didn't back off. Instead, he stood firm in his claim, making the rivalry even stronger as time went on.
That were the case, this lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics. And so, Andrew, taking a look at this, and also, I did also want to ask you, when it comes to the alleged victim, the person who is filing this lawsuit, right now, this is a Jane Doe situation. Is there any circumstance where a judge would compel this individual to reveal her identity or their identity publicly because of the high-profile nature and the seriousness of these allegations?
Well, to kind of piece that apart, first, Jay-Z says, bring this in criminal court. Well, we have to note that the DOJ has not named him, has not brought those allegations. And I think that they would be very interested in a case like this if there were actual criminal acts that occurred. So you have to wonder why this hasn't been handled criminally to start with. The standard in a civil court is much lower than in a criminal court, beyond a reasonable doubt in a criminal court, preponderance of the evidence in a civil court. As for the name of the victim and whether she can remain a Jane Doe or whether that will come out as her actual name, there is precedent for both being the case. And it deals with a number of factors concerning the publicity, the ability to defend yourself, the ability to rebut things in public. So there have been folks who have been forced to reveal their names in the Diddy case so far. And also many people are going by the Jane Does. So we'll see what happens, but there will be a point of reckoning where that story will have to be told in an open courtroom with a jury and determinations made if this pursues itself all the way to the end.
Andrew, before we let you go, is there anything else that you're keeping a very close eye on when it comes to these sorts of developments?
I'm keeping a very close eye on the attorneys that are bringing these civil lawsuits that seem to be doing a lot more investigation, seem to be having a lot more information than the FBI and the DOJ. That's highly suspect to me. There is certainly a large financial interest in what's happening with these lawsuits and the position Diddy's in. So I think that it's very important to maintain the presumption of innocence with folks that are being accused. Obviously, people are very curious about what's happening, and we want to make sure that anybody who violated children or committed any types of crimes are held responsible. But we have to have responsibility in the presumptions of innocence versus the salaciousness of these stories and the sprint to presume guilt that we see sometimes in especially social media and those types of posts.
Absolutely. Important point to note there, Andrew. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And as Andrew was mentioning, the attorneys involved, I did also want to share this statement with you. This is Tony Busby, who filed the lawsuit on behalf of this Jane Doe, saying, quote, Mr. Carter, referring to Jay-Z's legal name, Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my firm. He even filed his frivolous case under a pseudonym. What he fails to say in his recent statement is,
as the years passed, it seemed like their feud cooled down. They worked together on tracks, shared stages, and even praised each other publicly. But deep down, the tension never truly went away. It was like a volcano, quietly waiting for the right moment to erupt.
This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was sexually assaulted by both men at a Video Music Awards after party in 2000. In a blistering statement, Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, these allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? He added, my only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. Joining us now, Joey Jackson, CNN legal analyst and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. There's a lot to unpack here. Joey, I want to start with just the statement from Jay-Z, which is so forceful in its denial. I just read a teeny part of it. It's long, where he says that they should file a criminal complaint. Is that even possible at this point?
So based on the allegations, Jessica, good morning. Good to see you. I think that it certainly could be. Why do I say that? Now, he, of course, is more than annoyed, would be an understatement.
Yeah.
He has a family and he has a lot to protect, including his brand. But to the extent that he's saying, hey, come after me criminally, that could be likely. Why do I say that? Because rape in New York, and what's alleged in this complaint, is forcible compulsion. What that means in English is that it's saying that he held her down, raped her, and that, of course, the allegation is that Mr. Combs did the same thing. And so if those facts are actually accurate, it would require an investigation by prosecutors. And if true, right, you could pursue it criminally. Now, with respect to evidentiary value, yes, it happened 24 years ago, right? More than 24 years ago. But in the allegations, there's a few things. Number one, there's allegation that another celebrity was present at the time, right, in addition to other people. Number two, there's the claim by the victim, right, that she left, that she went and she was seen by a gas attendant who saw her in distress. Number three, that she phone called her dad, who showed up, the 13-year-old, and now removed her. So civil complaint, simply allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law. But if true, it could rise to the level of criminality. And, we'll see what happens, or if the DA looks and investigates.
So what happens now?
So what happens now is this is simply a civil complaint. And
That moment has finally come, and Wayne is taking full advantage. With Jay-Z's name involved in lawsuits and shocking allegations, Wayne sees the perfect chance to make his move. He's not just throwing shade, he's revealing secrets that could tear down Jay-Z's carefully built image.
A complaint, it goes through the technical legal process. Now, the distinction, Jessica, between civil and criminal, of course, is that civil is for monetary damages, right? The system can only reward you with money. There's allegations that this 13-year-old is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, suffered depression, etc. So now you go to fact-finding, right? Before that, just briefly, there was a demand letter sent. And a demand letter is a letter being sent by a lawyer saying, hey, I don't have to sue you. We can sit, we can mediate it. If we reach an agreement, it never sees the light of day. Jay-Z saying, I don't care about your demand letter. I look at it as blackmail. You want to sue me. You want to look at it criminally, but it'll go through the fact-finding process. If a trial is necessary to determine the facts, that's what will happen, but it'll be deemed civil. No indication at this point as to whether or not any criminal investigation will ensue as a result of this.
Yeah, and Jay-Z came back incredibly forcefully against these allegations and really singled out that attorney as well for being, I'm paraphrasing here, but greedy, saying he's out to get money, and calling that letter essentially blackmail.
Yeah, and in addition to that, Jessica, also suing the attorney, saying he's intimidating him, harassing him, etc. Now, demand letters are not new. What lawyers do is they send them out as a matter of protocol and practice so that you can expedite the process. At the same time, there's certain ethical standards that you have to use, and you have to have a good faith factual belief that this is true. Now, you can argue this complaint was filed in October, right? Could have mentioned Jay-Z then. You didn't. Why? It was amended now to include him. Are the factual assertions true? Are they fact or fiction? Is it a money grab or not? All of that will be litigated in a court of law. But according to Jay-Z, this never happened, is pure fiction. It is a money grab, and he's fighting for his name, reputation, and certainly innocence and justice in his view, which is he didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, and you touch on a point, too, that I wanted to ask you about, which was that this was an amendment to this already existing lawsuit. What are people to take away from that? The fact that they're coming back and adding to this now with this specific name?
Yeah, Jessica, so it depends. That's also common. You could amend lawsuits, right, as a matter of course, and you do, to include certain factual allegations. The interesting thing to me in terms of your question and the takeaway, if you had this information about Jay-Z, it happened allegedly in September of 2000, why not include it in the original complaint? What happened between October and now that necessitated you putting in, and it's a question of credibility. Was he celebrity A, right, as was noted in the October complaint? Is this pure fiction? And what's interesting in the complaint is he really, that is the lawyer, tries to tie Jay-Z to Mr. Combs in so many ways, right? Birds of a feather is the argument that he's making. You can make that argument. You need the facts to sustain it. Let's see if they come up with any facts.
Yes, all right, we will see. All right, Joey Jackson, thanks so much.
One of the most explosive claims Wayne has made involves Jay-Z's alleged efforts to cover up scandals involving Roc Nation artists, including the drama around the tour landing and Megan Thee Stallion. Wayne claims that Roc Nation tried to silence him, and now he hints that he has proof to back it up. But it doesn't stop there. Wayne has reportedly uncovered dirt about Meek Mill's alleged physical altercations with Nicki Minaj during their relationship, a claim that Nicki herself hinted at in an unreleased documentary.
A firm sent his lawyer a demand letter on behalf of an alleged victim, and that victim never demanded a penny from him. Instead, she only sought a confidential mediation. Since I sent the letter on her behalf, Mr. Carter has not only sued me, but he has tried to bully and harass me and this plaintiff. His conduct has had the opposite impact. She is emboldened. I am very proud of her resolve. And so we continue to follow the very latest developments as we share this information with you, as we do now know that Jay-Z has been named in connection with a lawsuit involving Sean Diddy Combs. Now, Diddy's lawyers also responded to this, telling TMZ the amended complaint and lawsuit are, quote, shameless publicity stunts designed to extract these developments as they happen and, of course, bring that to you as we see fit.
Wayne is painting a picture of Jay-Z as a man with a dark past, one who allegedly manipulates younger women and covers up scandals to protect his empire. These are serious accusations, and if Wayne really has the proof he says he does, it could cause major damage to Jay-Z's reputation and career. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay informed. Stay tuned for more updates, and let's keep our news accurate.